Hey everyone, welcome back to EekRC. I'm not sure how many people buy used RC cars. I tend to look on Facebook Marketplace and on eBay and a few other sites to see what's out there. Every once in a while you'll get a good deal. So I thought maybe I'd go over some things you need to look for when you're purchasing a Traxxas, especially a Traxxas Slash. This one I bought used on Facebook Marketplace. These can cost a lot of money to repair, upgrade. So the better you do when you buy one used, the more money you'll save. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So let me show you what I have here. So this is the Robbie Gordon Traxxas Slash. This is a VXL, so it does have the brushless motor, the Millennium motor, and ESC. I did put on the Arma body clips, so much easier. So let me show you my VXL. Okay, so first of all, take the body off. You know, it sounds like common sense, but a lot of people don't do that. The first thing I would look at is the electronics. Take a look and see if there are any wires that look like they were maybe resoldered or different cabling. This is the original cabling, Traxxas cabling. This was never redone. Take a look at the ESC. Look to see if you see any damage. You know, if they don't have a battery for you to test it, which I would not recommend that. Kind of put your nose near it and you can kind of smell it. You know, that burnt component smell that you know when something burnt out. Take a look at the wires, see if anything's damaged, any wires cracking or exposed to metal under the insulation. Take a look at the different connectors that are on here. Take a look at the wire for the steering servo. You know, move it around, see how it sounds. If you hear any like crunchy noises or anything, you know the gears are probably bad. So that's number one. Look at the electronics. And like I said, I don't recommend you not testing it with a battery. Ask the person if they have a battery pack for it, or bring a battery pack and some adapters just to make sure that it turns on, it runs. You're kind of out of luck if you don't have a receiver hooked up to it. If they don't have the original receiver, you know, you want to pay accordingly, just in case you have to replace the electronics. I mean, that's going to be a lot of money. Okay, so let's say you get past that point. Everything looks good, or you tested the electronics, it's fine. The next thing I would look at is the shocks. You know, feel them. Obviously, are they smooth? If they're not smooth, you might have a bent rod. Just assume that you're going to have to spend some money. Other than the rods bending, check for leaks. Maybe one of the seals is bad on the caps. If you see a lot of oil and a lot of dirt on them, there's a possibility that there was a leak or they don't have the right seal. Number three, and this is a big one because there's a lot of money involved, tires and wheels. Now, I did buy new ones for these. I didn't have to. The fronts were okay, but I just wanted to buy a pair and start from scratch anyway. So I do have now a spare set at least I can use. On the VXLs, the rear tires, this is a two-wheel drive obviously, so the rear tires on a VXL two-wheel drive, they're gonna wear pretty quickly. If you're running on pavement, these are gonna get worn down really quick. These were $50 for a set of 4. So if you're not looking to spend a lot of money, make sure it comes with a good set of wheels and tires. So wheels and tires are a big one. You can get a decent set on Amazon, like a no-name brand, for $30 a set of 4. They usually don't come glued, so you have to buy tire glue, things like that. These come glued, ready to go. Okay, the next one, drive shafts. These drive shafts are known to break. So make sure you spin everything around. Make sure the diff is good. You can see I have some pretty thick, sticky grease in there to give it a little bit better traction. So I do have some diff action. Definitely check these out. Spin them both ways. See if there's any kind of cracking or noises, any kind of binding. These are not that cheap either. So that takes me to obviously the gearbox. So the gearbox on a VXL, things will get stripped out, broken. You don't even know what gears are going to be in there. You could take the 2 screws off the cover and take a look and see what pinion's on there. Ask them if they have the original pinion, if they did upgrade it. Ask them if they have original spur gear. I have the original pinion on this one because I bought it. They had one that was way too large. So you could ask, but you might not find out really unless you take the cover off. And of course, make sure everything feels smooth. Okay, the other thing, make sure it has all the correct hardware and components. Mine was missing the top receiver cover. Luckily, I had one from another car. You know, the antenna is good. A lot of the hardware was wrong for this chassis. I don't know what they were doing, but I literally have 10 to 12 screws that were the wrong ones, but I did have to replace some of the Traxxas screws with the correct ones. If you do have the wrong hardware, something could fall out, fall apart. So So just look out for that too. The other thing is, does it have its front and rear bumpers? This one did not have a rear bumper. Okay, so it has this on there. I don't really need it unless I have more grippy tires. Probably I'm not going to use it. I have it on here just kind of like a bumper. Now I could take the wheelie bar section off and just leave this here, or I could just buy another bumper. The last thing I'm going to say is this. Usually when you buy a used RC car, they will give you other parts that they want to get rid of. Never turn those down. What I'm usually able to do is, if they're in good shape, clean them up, put them up on eBay, and make some of my money back. So here's an example. I bought this for $150, and I gotta be honest, it was mostly because of this and because the low center of gravity chassis. I knew I was gonna have to kind of buy tires and wheels. The shocks were in good shape. I knew they had some of the wrong hardware. It has the Millennium system, and if you bought that new, that would be $150 right there alone. To buy this all for $150, I was happy. But guess what? It came with some belted on-road tires with 17 millimeter adapters. It came with the skis, the front ski attachments, came with some other RPM parts. All of that went up on eBay. So I did not spend a whole lot of money, but I'm going to make a lot of that money back. So I think that's actually a really good deal for a VXL Robbie Gordon Slash. I absolutely love this body. Oh, and that leads me to the body. The body sometimes can be cracked everywhere and destroyed. I got some cracking back here, but guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna fix that, and I'll show you guys how I fix bodies on another video. Okay guys, so that's my video on the Traxxas Slash and what to look out for when you buy a used one. Hopefully you like my video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.